Welcome back to the show. XRP's on the run. Forget a jog. It's on the run. It's broke out. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. $3.31. Who likes it? Yeah, I like it. Mikey likes it. You can follow us on X, YouTube, and digperspectives.com for exclusive content. Woo-wee! We like this morning. The current market cap for cryptocurrency is $3.65 trillion. It's up 2.2. We're inching our way back to $4 trillion here. Bitcoin now 98,900 plus. Watch out, ladies and gentlemen. 3,300 plus for Ethereum. XRP at the number 3 spot. And watch out, Ethereum. We're almost halfway to knocking on your door. $3.33. We're up 19.2 in the last 24 hours. And we're up 45.2% in the last 7 days. Almost at a 200 billion market cap, ladies and gentlemen. My, oh my. Again, ranging between 277 and 335. We're making waves, baby. And look, we don't even have utility kicking yet. Come on in. Let's look at this. Paul Barron sharing Dave Portnoy. Oh yeah, Barstool. You know who it is. He's excited about XRP. He's got a big bag. All right, now let's take a look at this. Shout out to Paul. This is Wolf of All Streets, big Bitcoin guy, says he's happy for XRP holders. And I say, you know what? Thank you, Scott Melker. A lot of people are about to understand what we've known for years. Legislation equals utility. And that switch from speculation to utility is a permanent game changer. Write that one down. Yeah. And here's Phil Kwok from Easy A here. Lots of hype about $8 billion inflows for XRP in ETFs to come soon, but as a builder, he couldn't care less. He said, I've presented on stage with Ripple CTO David Schwartz twice, and he sees an easy straight line to a $16 trillion market in tokenized assets. How? It's not about building ETFs. He says here, $8 billion is nothing. This is a much bigger game. How come? The answer is real-world asset tokenization, ladies and gentlemen.
What's your view on RWAs and the XRP ledger?
I think that is just a massive opportunity.
No doubt about it. Real estate is a $200 trillion market, and there are huge problems across the board in real estate itself.
There are huge problems around in real estate, bonds, and just all kinds of carbon markets. There's all kinds of problems around liquidity, around things like fractional ownership. You can do fractional ownership in real estate, but it's extremely complicated. Like you need to draw up documents, create legal entities. There's no simple way to do those kinds of things.
So now we need to see that simplified. Imagine if you could get mortgages on any asset, not just home.
There's a whole mortgage industry around using homes as collateral and buying them on credit. You can imagine an automated system that could extend that to any asset. Like the ability to do that is just, that's just a massive marketplace.
No doubt about it, because having assets and being able to use them for collateral, that's where the game changer comes in. Now listen to this section here.
Giving people the option to be able to hold assets that they couldn't hold otherwise. Like I can't easily hold real estate in Greece. Like if I wanted to get fractional ownership of some real estate in Greece, it would be almost impossible for me to do that. If you would imagine some marketplace for fractional ownership, I could find properties, I could get that information in a much more streamlined way. What I would have to do today is I would have to find some entity that U.S. persons could purchase shares of that, like you would have to create an entity for each property that was going to be held in that way. And it's not scalable, it's not practical. And you have risk all through, like what is the structure of this entity, who created it, what is, is it perfect, is it legally perfect?
Exactly. It's great questions here. And look, think of this while they're going through these. We're going through these points very quickly here. This is what I talk about at times when I say that there will be frictions that are yet to be discovered as real world asset tokenization makes its way to market. You can bet your bottom dollar that not everyone has the ability to see every new problem that will arise. You'll need to introduce these things to the new digital economy, and as problems or friction is created in the digital world, they'll work to eliminate that too.
And I think also that the XRP Ledger's features, particularly around speed and low cost, I think make it a good fit for those use cases.
No doubt about it. And, just to add to all of this, and that's why he says, obviously, ETFs are not what get him excited. It's tokenizing the rest of the known world, and I don't blame him. It is a great reason to be excited. And to the point, there's been a huge, faction inside the XRP community that said we got to support the builders. Well, of course we support the builders. Right? In fact, that's why I've never given up on Ripple or XRP, because I know that as soon as we get the top-down adoption, which means governments and militaries, you're going to see a demand for builders like you've never seen in history before. I really do believe this. And again, you're going to discover multiple problems that are being adopted by the institutions in the new digital economy that will need a ton of builders to come in and solve these new problems in this new digital economy. And there will be no greater demand or signal or even like a megaphone to call out to builders once they see legislation and the financial world start to adopt this by going to Ripple to tokenize their products into the digital economy. This is where we go hand in hand here, I believe. No doubt about it. This is remarkable for everyone involved. Ripple RLUSD integrates Chainlink's trusted oracles. We covered it, but listen to Bitcoin news.
So Ripple is taking RLUSD, its USD-pegged stablecoin, to the next level by partnering with Chainlink for top-tier on-chain pricing data. So this move ensures that RLUSD integrates seamlessly into DeFi apps and for trading and lending and swapping and things like that. So with Chainlink's trusted oracles, they back $18 trillion in transactions, and Ripple aims to build that confidence and utility for RLUSD across both traditional and DeFi markets. So the partnership underscores the whole growing push for stablecoins and tokenized finance. And I mean, really every blockchain, they're all trying to get good, juicy, competitive stablecoins on their chain. And if they aren't, well, they're probably being left behind.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. And I tell you, we got more for you. Don't you go nowhere. We got Jack McDonald, the Senior Vice President of RLUSD. Listen to what he's saying now.
What you see stablecoin use cases being in the near term, and then perhaps also how you and your organizations are helping to drive that adoption of use cases. So we'll start, Jack.
Yeah, we decided to launch a stablecoin at Ripple for a number of different use cases. I'd say first and foremost, Ripple has been around for 12, going on 13 years as a leading cross-border payments company, and we've been a net user of stablecoins increasingly over the last 5-7 years. And so that use case really, in part, drove our decision to ultimately launch our own. And we ultimately believe that stablecoins really the killer app for cross-border payments. In addition, we've got a custody business, which is increasingly focused on the tokenization and RWA space, the previous panel. Stablecoins are perfect on and off ramp 24/7 to be able to allow more users to access RWA specifically, and doing a lot within the XRP Ledger as well. So we see a number of native use cases in addition to the trading sort of applications that stablecoins are very popular for today.
Just on these use cases, maybe to just conceptualize it, can you share an example of where that Ripple stablecoin is being used, whether it's trading or and some of the other use cases?
Yeah, specifically in trading, again, the previous panel spoke about DeFi. It's a perfect instrument to gain access on and off different DeFi protocols or platforms. And again, the 24/7 nature of it is really powerful. On the payment side specifically, there are certain corridors or senders or receivers who aren't comfortable using cryptocurrencies, for example, where stablecoins can be an alternative, and given the peg to, in most cases, not always, but in most cases, to a fiat currency, that can be a settlement token that has many of the same features as cryptocurrency in terms of speed, resiliency, efficiency, security, but to be able to be used in a very cost-effective way. And so, as I mentioned, we've been a net minter of stablecoins, specifically USDC, quite a bit in our business. We'll continue to do that, but also introducing RLUSD, the Ripple stablecoin.
Come on in. It just keeps getting better. Listen to this part. If you sell your XRP before U.S. stablecoin legislation comes in effect, may God help your soul. Not financial advice from subjective views or me either, but I damn sure feel that way.
I would just echo that. 90+% of demand for stablecoins today globally is in U.S. dollars. And to Corey's point, I think having a U.S. regulator really lean in here and finally provide some tangible guidance will unlock the next level of demand. We talk a lot about institutions coming, and you've seen a whole litany of different major institutions have their own respective experiments around, tokenizing a bond issuance or having a money market fund. But these are small pebbles, in what ultimately will be a much larger addressable market. And I really do believe that U.S. legislation is critical to unlocking that demand.
You better believe it. Well said, Jack McDonald. There it is. Now let's take a look at this as a nice little healthy reminder. FedWire, the Fed Now, FedWire. March 10th, 2025 is when FedWire goes ISO 20022 compliant. Coincidence that Jeremy Hogan posted this on 311 Delta. Well, listen, let's focus on this right here. Shout out to Jay Nelson Way for this. ISO 20022 messaging format for FedWire fund services in a single day implementation strategy, March 10th, 2025. Now, I'm not suggesting that all of a sudden fireworks are going to fly, but if this is in fact a real date that is still solid, and I believe that it is at this point, unless we find something that says it isn't, what we want to pay attention to, do they begin to integrate the use of digital assets through the messaging system? Because as a complement, that's what it allows for, the coding of digital assets. So if that starts to happen, I would expect to see a ramping up of that. Like, do they do it for 1% of the flows, 10%, 3%, 5%, 50%? I would expect to see this kind of get phased in, even though everyone is supposed to be ready to go by this date. Because up until now, for the last 7 years, everything I've seen has been a phase-in style operation. So, but it just all points to the right direction. That's what I love about this. And so does this, ladies and gentlemen. Looky here. President Trump considers U.S.-based crypto reserve, potentially prioritizing coins like Solana and XRP. I say, you know what? I'm cool with Bitcoin being in there too, but not just Bitcoin, because we don't want to fall into the same mindset that we had many years ago when we had just gold backing the dollar. If you have just one asset backing something, it's going to be a problem at some point, whether it's gold or whether it's Bitcoin. So multiple assets is the way to go here. And I think President-elect Trump's got his eye on it right now. Now we're over to the target. Lock in, ladies and gentlemen. Lock in. And very quickly, I want to run through this. And this thread is great. And this Trader View 2, Dom, is super smart guy. And I'm going to scoot through this one really quickly here and just show you. But I have another one that he has that you're absolutely going to want to hear about. It's going to set your day right where you want it to go. First of all, he says, read until the end if you want to understand how currently view this price action and my thoughts going into the next weeks. And basically what he's saying here is how XRP is currently battling its most important resistance zone on multiple different comparable charts. So in the XRP to BTC chart, there's a channel here that it's been hitting multiple times over a long period of time. And now we're back in that channel. Well, guess what? The dominance of the total market cap. XRP is hitting the same channel that it's hit before. It's a very, very important resistance according to multiple different comparative channels or charts. Looking here, XRP denominated in gold. It has a channel it keeps hitting ahead on here. Now, it's interesting. because he's comparing it to NASDAQ, XRP denominated to NASDAQ. There's a channel that's been hit here as a huge resistance. So you can see no matter what it's denominated against, there is a resistance here at this line that is very, very strong. And if we break through it, sky's the limit. Now, coming into this, let's get into this. Now it's XRP to USD. You can see where the hit its head here. Back at the previous all-time high. We're here. And by the way, just for the record here, on multiple exchanges, XRP is already at an all-time high again. 384 was an average of multiple exchanges. So in some instances on exchanges, XRP is already in an all-time high right now. Now, XRP to USD chart, you can see where it hit its head here. We're back in that same channel. Then you look here, and you can see another look, and you can see the possibility of us breaking out here. Right? And we get through this and we break out and then it's off to the damn races. And I love that. Now, let's take a look at this because this really breaks it down. XRP order book update. 2.5 million XRP sell wall on Binance Spot. Current barrier at $3.20. So in other words, it takes 2.5 million to get through the sell walls to hit $3.20. We've done that. We're past it. Combined between Coinbase and Binance Spot, we have 13 million XRP standing in the way of the all-time high of $3.33. Well, we are already above that because we ranged to 335. So we've already crushed that, right? So, coming back to this post here, 13 million standing in the way, we smashed it. After that is taken out, looks like 350 is the next barrier, and there's only 3.5 million sell walls sitting between us, where we are right now, and 350. Come on in. Order book basically currently empty to $4. So once we crush the 3.5 million sell walls to get to 350, $4 is clearing away right in front of us. A clear new all-time high for all of us. And it's pretty remarkable. He says, in my eyes, 270 is the last trigger before 290 and $3 becomes the magnet. We went over that yesterday. And he nailed it. This is remarkable knowing that these order books to sell are getting thinner and thinner the higher the price goes, which means we are entering into price discovery again because we're crossing over the all-time high for XRP. And not one human being owning XRP will be upside down in their bags, which means the sky is the limit to discover where XRP can truly go for the rest of the year. And we have so many things in front of us to pay attention to. XRP hit a new all-time high. Now the sky's the limit, he says. And here, we're still on that road to 1822. And watch out for 362 and 455 as our next targets. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. I have a great video that I'm going to share in the Freedom Zone on the fires that have been devastating to people in California. My heart, my prayers go out to everyone out there that's been displaced or harmed from the fires. And I hope that you're able to reestablish your life as soon as possible. No doubt about it. We're going into the Freedom Zone right now. And you can too. Go to digitalperspectives.com. Please click the Freedom Zone. It's a great way to support the channel, and we are super grateful for all of you that do. It's less than a cost of a cup of coffee per month. You get all the daily videos with zero Google ads. Zero Google ads. Just right there is worth it on the price of admission, as well as extra content, and some of it censorship sensitive, so we got to be careful about that. Come join us. Come on in.